Make sure you pick up my 2 books that's in Amazon right now. The first one is Passive-Aggressive Racism and the System of White Supremacy. And I talk about in that particular book how the system of white supremacy really runs on our daily lives here in America. In our latest book, 7 Steps to Decolonize the Mind, we go through those steps to try to deprogram you from the system of white supremacy. Make sure you can pick up those books on Amazon.com.
Introducing the African Diaspora News Channel app, your gateway to stories that's overlooked by the corporate mainstream media.
At African Diaspora News Channel, we cover stories that don't receive mainstream attention, and we serve as the voice to the global Black community. We are committed to informing and educating through the power of media, connecting the African diaspora one story at a time.
With our platform, we're helping to end injustice by exposing it.
Join us in standing for excellence in journalism and serving our community. Download the African Diaspora News app today.
Peace, family. My name is Vicki Dillard for African Diaspora News Channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. We're so pleased that you have joined us today, beloved. I am so excited to update everyone on our ongoing story about the Fox News scandal. Yes, family, I have been doing back-to-back coverage here on this network because I have to keep you informed. And let me tell you something, keeping you informed is making a big difference as it relates to our community and the people that defend and support and advocate for our issues. And we're talking about folks like the Nation of Islam, who has been among us for 90 some odd years. Yes. So family, be sure to share the broadcast. Give us a big thumbs up, would you? I know sometimes the notifications don't go out, but sometimes they do. And besides that, we want you all to inform others as well. Yes. Family. Now, you all know I did a broadcast yesterday. I heard from some of you yesterday in gratitude of the update that we gave you. Well, guess what, family? I got another update. For those of you that don't know, Fox News on January 2nd, right after the New Year's domestic attacks, not only in New Orleans, but also we found out there was an attack in Vegas. Yes. Well, family, they had the nerve the next day, because it was January 2nd, to already try to do some scheming and defamatory action against the Nation of Islam. I want to simply remind you again of what our ongoing story has been about, family. We're going to keep the pressure on. All we doing is just gas. We're pressing the gas on this story because it matters and it makes a difference. And we want to shut this down while they're in the middle of this. Yes. And this speaks to other issues when folks try to defame us. We want to send a very clear signal, not only to Fox News, but also to others that would dare come against us. So as a reminder, I want you to watch this very brief clip of what took place after the world was told about the domestic terrorist attacks in New Orleans. I want you to watch the play of Fox News. Watch this.
At the neighborhood. So, are you hearing anything from your people in law enforcement as to how widespread this could be?
I have a good source that was telling me, but I have not been able to confirm it through a second person. But this is an investigator that this individual is not Arab. He's a Black American, and that this is a Nation of Islam group, that this individual practiced Islam, but under the Nation of Islam. Now, I don't know if that, I haven't been able to verify that with a second source, but that possibility is out there. I think from what I've seen that's coming in is that we know that they chose New Orleans, but we have to ask why. Why did they go all the way there? That night, they could have chosen in any state the ability to kill numerous people, but they chose that state and that venue. I think we're going to see a link somewhere why they chose that. Either somebody was related to that area, somebody else lived over there that coordinated it, and he just drove the truck in. But there had to be a coordination in some way, shape, or form to New Orleans.
Important questions. Jonathan T. Gilliam, thanks so much for your insight. We appreciate it.
Todd, can I say one other thing?
Sure, quickly.
I always do this to you. I think it's very imperative that Donald Trump, just like he put Tom Homan as the deportations are, I think this is a very important thing because Tom Homan is an expert who worked in that field. We need experts who worked in the field of these types of operations that, like the old Red Cell, Navy SEAL Red Cells, where they worked as terrorists, planning these ops so they could reverse engineer them and share with everybody how, when, where, and why a terrorist or a school shooter or these types of individuals would attack. If we do that and people take it seriously, we could form an entire threat assessment throughout all industry across the country, and it would be so inexpensive and easy to do that it would blow people's minds, and effective if people would do it.
No.
Okay, family. Now, thanks to our ongoing coverage here, guess what took place, family, in less than 24 hours after we did our second segment on this story? Guess what happened? I want to see if our team can put up on the screen something that's very, very interesting. Are y'all ready for this? Are y'all ready for this? Guess what happened, family, right here on this network, African Diaspora News Channel. We already busted them in the first place some days back, right? Then we had the nerve to turn around and do a follow-up story yesterday, right? To expose the fact that the Nation of Islam is fighting back, right? Family, look at this screenshot. Can y'all see the screenshot? What does it say right there in the comment section? What does it say in the comments right there? Comments. Oh. Family, that's not just because of me broadcasting the message, family. That's not just because of me broadcasting the message. I know y'all can see it, right? Family, it's because, watch this, I'm blaming y'all. Shout out to the Black grassroots. And I would imagine some of our family around the world that may have jumped in on it. Y'all must have been tearing up the Fox News so hard in that comment section. Y'all must have been calling them out so bad, family, that y'all made them turn off the comment section. Now, right before I went on, unless something has changed with the area of this broadcast, because you all know I do my best to do my due diligence, of course, I went on there just to look at the past several. I went on, you know how when videos come out on YouTube, sometimes they come out on different sections, right? So I went under the video section, I went under the live section, and all of the ones I clicked on, the most recent ones in particular, had the comments still on. Guess which one is the only one that I saw, again, prior to right before we came on? Guess which one showed the comments still off, y'all, from yesterday after we gave them that everlasting word? And y'all must have went over there and just went off on our phones because of our back-to-back coverage. Some of you are already getting onto them when we did the first broadcast some days ago. So I'm not saying that this is not just, I mean, obviously they were aware of this very likely before, because some of y'all went in there. Family, they still have the comments off. Why are the comments still off, family? That's thanks to you. So family, we want to keep the pressure on. We want to support the Nation of Islam because they had just issued a cease and desist notice because of the slander that you just witnessed again. I want to keep showing it to you because I want to remind you that they specifically stated, without substantiation, without evidence, the man went so far as to say that he was unable to even get a secondary source to confirm this rumor. He did not give us the name of his source that he claims is an investigator with the FBI that's looking into this. But he specifically stated, in addition to what I just said, he specifically said, oh, he's a Muslim, but he ain't no Arab Muslim. He's a Black American. He's a Black American Muslim. He wanted to make sure he didn't say African American. He didn't put African. He didn't put no diaspora. He didn't want y'all thinking nothing about no Middle East. He wanted to put this on us. Now, of course, there are so many contradictions to that. There are so many contradictions in how the nation conducts themselves. And as I mentioned yesterday, if you missed yesterday's broadcast, go under the live section and watch it today. Share it with everybody. Why are we doing that? We're doing it because we're creating awareness and accountability so that these false and defamatory narratives aren't sustained. We want the powers that shouldn't be. Yes, I said that right. We want the powers that shouldn't be to be reminded that you will not get away with such things. How many of you all know that I have shown you, and I'm certainly some of my other colleagues here, and certainly the founder of this great network, Brother Phil Scott, has explained to you over the years how the media does, and even the importance of us having our own networks, having our own outlets. That's the reason why we ask you to go ahead and download the app for African Diaspora News Channel on major platforms where the app where apps can be downloaded, because that essentially serves as another platform for us. Yes, that's the reason why we want you to tap in, join the email list, follow us on social media, family, because our voice matters, and we're here to counter those negative narratives. Yes. Now, I've explained to you before how media is warfare, and how the conditions in the environment and in the culture and in the minds of the people is created first before we ever take action against the people. So you've got to understand there was a reason why they specified and delineated what type of Muslim they claim was behind it, which we know is defamatory, and based on all of the evidence that we've seen so far is absolutely false. And of course, the Nation of Islam says as much in their cease and desist notice to Fox News. Yes, which I read that for you yesterday. That's why I told you, so you can catch up. Go watch yesterday's broadcast so I don't have to reread the cease and desist notice, okay? So we're excited that the Nation of Islam is fighting back. But family, they are feeling the pressure, family. I guess while they're making the decision to retract that and to remove that segment, family, so far they done shut down the voices of the people because y'all been tearing them up. And I'm so proud of what we're doing. Now, before I get off of here, because I won't be long, but I will be strong, I want to remind you of something that Malcolm X, who was, of course, a very prominent member and a prominent part of the Nation of Islam prior, to they going their separate ways. There's a couple of different quotes that's associated with him. And I want to remind you of what those two quotes are, and it's specifically about the media. Yes. Now, how many of you all know that the Nation of Islam has been operating in the United States without violence and with uprightness to the best of their ability for about 94 years? Yes. I read that yesterday from the attorney, the representative, in his cease and desist demand. Yes. Well, Malcolm X says this. And again, these two quotes are credited to him. So I want to preface that by saying at least these quotes are credited to him. He said, quote, "The media's the most powerful entity on earth. They have the power to make the innocent guilty and make the guilty innocent." Let that sink in. Where is my gavel? If you don't know Vicki, the family, if you don't know, the Vicki Show is a home of the hand claps and the gavel raps. Many years ago during the spiritual experience, I used the gavel because my something I was doing, I was guided to do so. And I brought the gavel with me when I came online with the different platforms that I've been on. Did you all hear that powerful quote? I'm going to read it again. I need you to listen real good, family. Yes? I need y'all to listen real good. He said, again, this is one of two quotes that I'm going to read to you that's credited to Malcolm X. "The media's the most powerful entity on earth." If somebody as revolutionary and as intelligent and is such a world shaker as Malcolm X is telling you all that the media is the most powerful entity on earth, do you believe me now after all these years of me constantly saying the media is warfare? They have the power to make the innocent guilty and the guilty innocent. Another quote that's credited to him. He says, "If you're not careful, the newspapers will have you hating the people who are being oppressed and loving the people who are doing the oppressing." Let me hit the gavel again. You have to ask yourself, how is it that all of those years ago, prior to the rise of social media, We certainly know the role that mainstream legacy media played back then before the rise of alternative media. Yes. So that's the reason why I tell y'all to be careful when you're jumping out there dogging social media, and everybody keep talking about how toxic social media is. And of course, there's certainly toxic elements of social media. But let me remind you, the ones that came after our family that are responsible for deleting so many of them, they use legacy media. Wasn't no YouTube around then, family. Wasn't no Instagram and TikTok and stuff. So don't go there with that. Mainstream legacy media has on a veneer of legitimacy. They look real shiny. They talk professorial. They have all the bells and whistles. They have all the embellishments to pull you in, to give them an air of legitimacy. And because of that, it speaks to your subconscious. So even if they say something that you know sounds suspicious, because you're so used to crediting them with certain truths, which they're not telling, they programmed your subconscious. You are part of the matrix. And the reason why voices and networks like this one are so important, because we shake you out of the matrix simply with a different and alternative view. That's truth, and that's powerful, and that's consistent. Yes? Watch this. Before I get off of here, how many of y'all know I always say I'm going to be strong, but I won't be long? This is real talk today. I want to remind Fox News to be very, very careful, because you've already received a type of legal notice by and through their cease and desist letter. Yes, demand. I'm looking at an article here. I'm reading from NPR article from April of 2023. I didn't even give this to the team to share with you. Y'all know how I do. Y'all know I'm your sister with the curly braids. I'm gonna give y'all all kind of receipts and reminders and context and historical, this, that, and the third. Yes. I don't know if we're going to post this or not, but watch this. This article I'm reading from, headline: Fox News settles blockbuster defamation lawsuit with Dominion Voting Systems. Family, this is an article from just over a year ago. Why am I reading this? I'm going to read the headline again. Are y'all listening? Fox News settles blockbuster defamation lawsuit with Dominion Voting Systems. Now, some of you are like, well, what is that about? Well, let me remind you, in case you weren't keeping up with the news. That's my job. I'm going to give you context, because we forget to, and they want you to forget. They want you to, so much is going on, so much is thrown at us over time. We forget the context of stuff, but I'm here to help us with that. What does it say here? Fox News and its parent company, Fox Corp, have struck a deal averting a trial in the blockbuster defamation suit filed by the election tech company Dominion Voting Systems over spurious claims of fraud in the 2020 presidential race. Judge Eric Davis of the Delaware Superior Court announced the settlement from the bench on Tuesday afternoon ahead of the trial scheduled start. The parties settled. Y'all ready for this? Y'all ready for this? Put your seatbelts on, family. Put your seatbelts on. Fox News, Judge Eric Davis of Delaware Superior Court, right? The parties settled with this particular judge $787 million, $787,500,000 settlement, about half of Dominion's original $1.6 billion ask. For those of you that's not following me, there was a very, very blockbuster lawsuit, defamation lawsuit against Fox News from the company that's known as Dominion Voting Systems. Dominion Voting Systems was, obviously, as its name infers, had tech stuff out there related to the past election, right? The previous election, to the 2020, in fact, the 2020 presidential election. Yes? Well, guess what happened? Let me read you this, because the article really speaks for itself, and it'll give you context of why they sued Fox News. It says that the amount represents vindication and accountability, says Dominion lawyer Justin Nelson. Lies have consequences. I'm going to give you a quote again from one of the attorneys that was on the case against Fox News. Dominion Voting Systems sued Fox News for defaming them for lying. They initially demanded $1.6 billion. Guess what? The courts refused to throw the case out. Fox News tried to get the case out. They didn't win. The courts moved forward to trial. How many of y'all know? Some of you may not have kept up with that story, but guess what? They were actually in trial. They came. Fox News said, "Well, let's stop now." When the trial started, how many of y'all know that? They asked for $1.6 billion. When the trial started, they stopped the trial proceedings, asked that they go ahead and settle. They went on ahead and negotiated with Dominion, and they ended up selling for $787,500,000. How many of y'all know that that's just a few million away from $1 billion? Remember, the original ask was $1.6 billion. What did I tell you? The lawyer is quoted as saying, "Lies have consequences." Fox News, did you all remember during your lawsuit that a lawyer that won just under $1 billion from y'all told y'all that lies have consequences? Fox News. That's a quote from who? It's a quote from lawyer Justin Nelson. Lawyer Justin Nelson, who sued you successfully, Fox News, told you, quote, "Lies that you told have consequences." Not only that, Dominion CEO John Paulos told reporters, quote, "Fox has admitted to telling lies about Dominion that caused," listen, y'all, I'm quoting the Dominion CEO. That's the company CEO. John Paulos. He says, quote, "Fox has admitted to telling lies about Dominion that caused enormous damage to my company, our employees, and the customers that we serve. Nothing can ever make up for that. Throughout this process, we have sought accountability," he said. Truthful reporting. I'm just reminding Fox News of the lawsuit that y'all lost. That's all. I'm not speaking for the Nation of Islam. Of course, I can't do that. I don't have those official ties, and I'm certainly not appointed or anointed from nobody over there. I'm just a sister that loves them to pieces, especially Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. I'm just a sister that believes in speaking truth to power. So that's how I'm speaking. Did nobody contact me from them or indirectly from them telling me to cover, to do, to say nothing related to this? This me that's pulling up these previous receipts to remind you of your recent history. How many of y'all know I told you that this lawsuit is from 2023? That's not that long ago. We're not even talking about 20 years ago, 10 years ago, 5 years ago, family. Now, it had to do with the 2020 elections, but I'm saying that it was actually settled just in 2023. Yes? Watch this, y'all. What did he say? Truthful reporting, and I'm quoting from the CEO. Truthful reporting in the media is essential to our democracy. Fox News, be reminded it is. You already had to pay out almost $1 billion. They caught you in your lies. You admitted to the lies. Let me read you a little bit more from this article and we're finished. Fox News released a statement shortly after the settlement was announced. Quote, "We acknowledge the court's rulings, finding certain claims about Dominion to be false." That's a quote, family. Not from the CEO of Dominion, not from the lawyer that I just quoted. I said that first sentence that I just quoted just now was from who? Fox News released a statement saying, quote, "We acknowledge the court's rulings, finding certain claims about Dominion to be false." Family, in the previous election in 2020, Fox News utilized their platforms to spread lies and defame Dominion Voting Company. Dominion Voting Company's business suffered because of it. Their employees suffered because of it. Their bottom line suffered because of it. And Fox News had to cut the check. Because I know I'm not no official spokesperson for the Nation of Islam at all. Is that clear, family? Vicki don't have no authority to speak for them. But as a citizen of this country and as a citizen of this world, and as a woman of truth and justice, as a mouthpiece for truth and justice, I just want to say, look, I'm not an attorney, but I know there's a such thing as precedent. There's a phrase that they use as precedent in legalese. That means there's an example that's already been set. There's also another phrase in law that's known as case law. That means that sometimes when a judge or is looking, or an attorney, an officer of the court, we'll call them, is looking for another reference to base their case upon or to supplement their own, they look for what they call case law. That means another case that's similarly situated or have similar elements. Fox, y'all lie a lot. You just had to cut the check. Do you want the Nation of Islam to take you to court and ask for $1.6 billion and have in their arsenal a recent piece of case law? You don't want that. So it's probably in y'all's best interest to fix that. Yes. Family, shout out to you that's clearly been giving Fox News that everlasting work. Y'all been giving them so much work. This story has been ongoing here because y'all are making it ongoing because we are keeping our foot on their necks and we ain't doing nothing but pressing the gas. Can somebody please put a card in the chat for me? I wish I could look at the chat. I'm trying to do that at the same time. Somebody put a card in the chat. Somebody put a gas pump in the chat. You better not be no digital pedestrian. You better not be in the middle of the road when we coming, baby. We are not playing. How many of y'all know that there's lots of trolls, there are lots of different lies and haters that's out there? We don't run behind every single thing, but something of this level of consequence. How many of y'all know that Fox News, they have major networks and other affiliate publications that are both print publications and media publications here in the United States and around the world? In fact, who knows? I may talk to the team about doing a mini little broadcast here about how many of y'all know. Look, one of my people contacted me. They sent me a link. Do y'all know that one of their affiliates, I think one of their affiliates is Sky News, if I haven't mistaken. Don't quote me on that. I'm gonna double check that, but I think so. Do y'all know that y'all sent me the link of one of their white broadcasters over there from they European network, y'all, where they using one of my quotes, and people, y'all was, look, I don't be looking for these people. Y'all the one come telling me somebody copied them. Y'all was tearing them up. That's how I found out about it. So I may do a broadcast on it, and I'm gonna show you the actual clip. Everybody's calling them out, and everybody said there's no way. This is not one of those quotes where anybody could just, anybody could say something. You know what I'm saying? All of us say little weird stuff, that's common to the world. Family, when I show y'all this clip, I'm gonna tell you later. I ain't gonna say it right now. So my point is that they have a large network. How many of y'all know that they have major print publications? They have media outlets here in the United States and around the world. How many of you all know they got connection to certain foreign lobbyists? We're gonna leave it alone. How many of y'all know that Fox News ownership and leadership is responsible and said to be contributing to some of those very elements? How many of y'all know that they have authority and power with government leaders around the world? How many of y'all know that? I said, how many of y'all know that? Talk black to me, somebody. That means that what they did to the Nation of Islam in this instance is of major consequence. And you, the Black alternative grassroots, y'all was giving them work so bad especially after yesterday. It was crazy, y'all, especially after, now I ain't gonna lie, it was really after the first broadcast that we did here. Y'all was already over there cutting up. But why didn't they turn off the comments and turn it back on? Yeah, I keep going over there to see if they're gonna turn it back on. They ain't turn it back on after yesterday. It was over with. I don't know what all y'all did. What else y'all was doing out there? Shout out to the African Diaspora News channel. Shout out to the Black Grassroots. Shout out to you, family. I'm getting ready to go right now, but I am conducting on Sunday, January 26th. Mark your calendar. Sunday, January 26th, in just a few days from now, a free webinar. I'm going to be talking about the hidden hand behind the terrorist attacks in New Orleans. Yes. How many of you all know that they told us that the domestic terrorist attacks that we experienced here in the United States, in Vegas and in New Orleans, they told us was ISIS inspired? Could there be a possible connection between the domestic terrorism here and international terrorism? I can't talk about that online. Somebody say, shh, that's that hidden, forbidden knowledge. So we got to talk about it offline. Go to my website at VickiPlanet.com to save your seat today. Don't you miss it. Go to VickiPlanet.com. That's my website, VICKIPlanet.com. It's absolutely free. I'm your sister with the curly braids, family. Be sure, I don't want to forget this, to tune in tonight to hear Brother Phil's live 8 p.m. Eastern. Don't you miss it. I can't wait to see you again.